right, war number 8. We're going to start with GT40, of course, the number 1 war alliance in the world, and another 1 death clear. They win easily 1-33 against another unranked opponent. And this is a good opportunity to kind of give you guys some information about the matchmaking system. So the matchmaking system essentially has 2 qualities. One, it is going to match purely based off of war rating. Now, GT40 has the highest war rating in the world because they win the most, and the matchmaking system is going to try to find them an alliance that is closest to them in war rating. And that's why early in the season they match other strong alliances like JA, like New Nation, like TCN, because they are closest to GT40 in war rating. However, there is a 6-match moratorium on rematches, which means GT40, they faced New Nation in war number 2. That's New Nation's only loss this season. And for 6 matches after that match, GT40 cannot rematch New Nation. Now, that moratorium is lifted in War 9, and I actually don't know if they matched each other this war, but I would not be surprised if they did not rematch each other this war, that they will rematch each other in war number 10. So GT40 is going to start getting rematches with alliances they beat earlier in the season. I know that those other alliances really hate that because GT40 is just so good and they're difficult to beat, and it definitely messes with the leaderboard. But the reason is because Kabam has decided that the best way to create fair matches is by war rating only. So anyway, there it is. That's your information. GT40 has been matching some cupcakes the last few wars, but that's because every time they win a war, their range keeps expanding to grab the next nearest war rating. And again, it's not that simple. There are a bunch of other alliances in between JWin and GT40 that the algorithm is also working to find a match for. So that's how they end up with these unranked opponents, but that is going to come to an end very shortly. So, okay, JA, by their standards, a difficult war there, but 6-12, they do take the win. TCN loses. They die 9 times, very unlike them. Sweden's alliance with another strong clear, 4-9 over TCN. New Nation wins 5-9 against DSVG. So these are 2 alliances that have essentially been vying for the 3 spot for a while, and really just top 3 contenders. New Nation has established themselves, at least on the war rating leaderboard in game, as the clear number 2 because they are now 7-1, and JA is 6-2. And then you guys can kind of pause and look around. We did win our war LVT against SAS 6-12. That was our first rematch. We matched them War 1 and we lost to them. So, all right, here are the rankings updates, and not a surprise, GT40 and JA stay the same. They're first and second in efficiency. New Nation, of course, moves up. They're 7-1, third in efficiency, 9th in strength of schedule. TCN only moved down 1, so they're 5-3. They're the only alliance with 3 losses in the top 6. And it's just because they still don't die that much. They're 4th in efficiency and 4th in strength of schedule. And then DSVG, look, they are still having an incredible season. They've definitely cooled off these last 3 wars. So they're 6-2. They're top 5 in efficiency still, top 10 in strength of schedule. And then XK9, I believe that XK9 is 3rd on the in-game leaderboard at 7-1. But they're 6th in efficiency and 14th in strength of schedule. So I would imagine that these last few wars, XK9 is going to be put through the gauntlet. They're probably going to have to match Noon, they're probably going to have to match JA, and they're probably going to have to face GT40. So we will see how that goes for them. All the best to them, of course. And then Sweden's alliance, I don't know what these guys can do to get out of that 7th spot. I feel like they've been locked into 7th for like almost this entire season, but look, they're a really strong alliance. They are 5-3, but they have had a really tough schedule, and every loss that they've had has been against a really strong alliance. So they're having a good season. They're going to easily finish in the top 10 in Masters. I'm not sure that they can make it to the top 3 at this point. But at least they can stay 7th. Hopefully they can finish the season 7th in this rankings sheet. All right, and then Legion, Matrix, and HCK all each move up 1. You guys can see their efficiency numbers and their strength of schedule numbers. Legion and Matrix kind of squeaked out wins this week. or I'm sorry, this past war, but they're good alliances, and HCK, again, really just, they have really dominant clears, and then sometimes they throw in a dud, but for the most part, they've been really strong. All right, and then MIBR, they move up 2. They're 5-3, top 10 in efficiency. Salty, they lose. They were really, really hot. I think they had won 3 in a row, and all 3 of those wins, they had 4 or fewer deaths. They, I guess, just had a rough war, and the algorithm is like, wait a minute. They're not top 10 in strength of schedule. They are 8th in efficiency, which is strong, but they dropped 4, and mostly it's because the alliances that are now ahead of them, they all moved up. So that's all good. SSX, they dropped 1 spot from 12 to 13. They're 5-3 still, and then LVT, X5E stay locked in at 14 and 15. LVT won, X5E lost. But those 2 alliances have been so close in the leaderboard, or at least in this sheet, really for the last 3 or 4 wars, so they're just kind of locked in place. And then SGA, they move up 1 for Loki. Of course, they lost. They dropped to 3-5, and they're 15th in efficiency, so they drop 1. They're back down to 17. And then PYCB, they're sticking in there at 20th in efficiency and 22nd in strength of schedule. One of the weaker alliances, I think, in the Masters range. And then PBT, these guys are 2-6, and they're in the top 20. I don't get it, but it's because of their strength of schedule, and they haven't died that much considering their competition. So anyway, that's it for the update, guys. Appreciate it. Leave a like and a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.